Guys, again, my name is Andrew Argueta. I'm doing a speech over what this is here right now. Do you guys know what this is? No. Any idea? No. This is a ballast. A ballast is pretty much like a battery. It's in simple words, it transfers energy from electrical cables to the lamps. Most lamps, they're either 2 or 4 light bulbs. It just depends on whatever you're working on, what kind of lamp it is. Usually for when it comes down to commercials or residential, it's always 2 lamps to a ballast. For commercials, usually what they do is they connect 3 ballasts for 3 sets of light bulbs. That way they can save energy. That way it'd be easier for them to transfer energy to the lamps. Pretty much what a ballast does is it's kind of like a battery to your radiator, to your alternator in your car. If your car doesn't have a battery, then your alternator doesn't start your car. This is pretty much what it does. It pretty much transfers all that energy in there. A ballast is pretty easy to change. What happens is when you have the white cable, it's the constant power. The black cable is the power. The red, you connect it to either one side of where the 2 lamps are. 2 lamps, when you try to hook up the lights, you pretty much take apart the little shell that covers it. You take the 2 bulbs out. You unbuckle the bulb connectors and you leave the cables wide open. But what you have to do is you got to make sure that the black one is always covered, because if not, you're gonna get electrocuted. You're not risking much harm when it comes to residential because the voltage is different than commercial. When it comes out to residential, it's 120 volts, but when it comes to commercial, it's 220. A human body can only control about 120, which is average. It's going to do some part of a damage. It's going to, give you a bunch of bruises and stuff, but it's not going to kill you. 220 instantly shocks you. That's it. That's the end of you. So you got to be really careful when you're messing with ballasts. You gotta really read them, and you got to determine whether or not they're 120 or 220. The way you can determine that is pretty simple. For 120, the cables are this thin. 220, they're going to be a little bit more thicker, and you're going to be able to tell the difference. When you connect these, you pretty much, for the lamps, when it comes down to the blue cables, and when it comes down to the white and the red, you really don't got to worry about putting bulb connectors on them, but you really got to put more emphasis and more attention to is the black one. When you're changing all this, the 2 blue ones always go to the left side of the lamp, to the cables. When you take down the lamps and you take out the shell like I was explaining, there's 4 different cables that are coming through that you have to connect these to. You're going to have the white and the black that's going to the lamps as well, so you can have the constant energy going through there, and you can have the ground power, which is the black cable. Then the blue one is just so that the lights will turn on. If you don't connect these right, then the lights won't turn on. And then you're pretty much going to be confused and figuring out, what's wrong with it, but it's because you didn't connect these right. Once you hook these up to the original blue ones, you got to snap the red cable into 2 so you can connect one this way, and then the other one connecting this red one to this blue one so you can have the even amount of energy going through both sides of the lamps. Because what happens most of the time is you'll notice when you go to the store, you'll see one light brighter than the other one because these cables weren't connected right or the ballast didn't work right. Other than that, you really don't have much to worry about. It's just connecting the right cables. Once you connect the right cables and once you see that light turn on, that means you did a good job. But you always got to make sure you can use bolt connectors, you use wire cutters, you use pliers, and you always use rubber gloves. Rubber gloves is very important because it pretty much helps you not to get electrocuted. As we all know, rubber pretty much is a conductor of electricity, so nothing really happens to you. If you're doing a job and you're pretty much like a novice or you're a beginner, then you always want to use that. If you're a pro and you know what you're doing, then most of the time you're not really going to use gloves, but it's very important that you do, no matter what kind of experience you have. It's always important because you never know what kind of stuff you're dealing with. Other than that, the ballasts come in different sizes. You'll see some like these. These are like an average size ballast, but then you'll find ones that are about twice as much. They're a little bit bigger, but they're about the same thing. They're going to have a little bit more cables, It's going to be a little bit more confusing, but it's about the same thing, the same procedure to put them on, to put them off. You always, the most important things about changing ballast really is pretty simple. You just got to know where the black cable, where the white cable goes, and the other ones is pretty much self-explanatory. And that's it. Thank you guys.